All right, guys, can you guys hear me on YouTube? We may have booted everybody out. Ija, are you still around? All right, guys. Yeah. YouTube is good now. Okay, thank you. I think everybody got booted out though. So, Andy's going to take over. I'm just waiting for him to take over.
Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Is anybody in here? I know we got a small crowd right now. Seeing only, yeah, just a few. Anyway, sorry we had some problems with our YouTube live stream. We're back up now. Okay, thank you, Ignacio. Appreciate it. All right, thanks, Michael. All right, guys. I know we have only a few in here. We lost the majority of you when something happened with our live stream, but we got it back up now. So hopefully some of you guys stumble back in here. Raja, yeah, I counted on you to make it, buddy. All right, guys, welcome to the live support session for our Friday edition. My name is Andy, and I'll be taking you through the next hour. Guys, if you have any things that you need to work through with the software, this is the right place to be. We started this for helping people to navigate the software and working with any issues that they may have. So this is the place where you want to come, ask questions. Just use the chat room there and or the the chat panel, I should say, and yeah, ask your questions. All right, yeah, we might be a little thin today since we did lose our live stream before our transfer, but that's okay. We can still have some fun and talk stocks if you want to. Well, and I'll run some races. That's always fun. Well, what I do is I run them like every 15 minutes. Like I start on the top of the hour, and then I'll run quarter after the hour, and then the bottom half of the hour. So we'll start one here in about another 12 minutes or so. I'll show you some of the stuff that I've been running, and it's been pretty effective. Had a good week using some of this stuff. But anyway, here we are. Once again, guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Drop it into the chat panel there, and we will try to tackle it for you. Let's take a look at the market while we wait for questions. SPY is just kind of hanging out. Very sloppy day. Gapped up kind of on the, and for whatever reason, I'm not going to say it gapped up because of the CPI numbers. But anyway, just kind of levitating up here for the last several days. See what happens today. Qs, I don't believe, are quite as strong. No, Qs a little bit different story, but still above all their major moving averages. No, Bill, good question. I think it's going to be available to everyone. I know it will at the beginning, so I mean, I really believe it's going to be available to everyone. But don't quote me on that. In other words, don't come back and say Andy said it's going to be, because I don't know for sure. I'm assuming. Uh, let's see. And even if it's going to be from premium, I'm sure we'll let everybody, use it for X amount of time, whether it's a couple of weeks, a month, or whatever, to see how they like it. But I don't know. IWM is just still kind of having a hard time. It's just under a little bit of pressure, trying to hold on to its last moving average there, the 10 period there. See what happens. But still, I don't want to call it weakness, because it's kind of right back in the middle of its range that it's been in forever. Had a little head fake there, and now right back in the middle of that range, but definitely no real strength in the IWM to speak of. We are running, I think, the last dev version. Let me tell you how this works, okay? You guys, before you get a beta, we will go through a dev version at least 2 or 3 times. And then we'll work out all the bugs. We catch all the bugs. The bugs right now are not really with the racing. And the racing is working perfect for me. And I've been doing a lot of them. And like I said, we'll run one here in about 10 minutes. But we are trying to fix the charting issue. The charts are a little bit slow. They're not slow for me. For some reason, it seems to be sort of regional, kind of geographical. The guys down here in Texas, is about 3 of us. We don't have any issues with the charts being slow. But we do have an issue sometimes of typing in a symbol, especially. A lot of times we'll only get, look like this. You may have 3 days on your 15-minute chart, and then you'll put in a symbol, and it'll come out like this, or with only like 5 lines, sometimes even 1 bar. So we're working through that issue. That's our main priority right now. Hopefully we'll get that fixed soon, and you guys, hopefully we'll have this, sometimes next week. But we're trying to get it right here. I'm sure I'll get one more dev version, and then all the traders will here at Trade Ideas, and we'll bang on it a little bit for a couple of days, and then shoot it out to you, hopefully. Okay, chart speed good in Mexico. Okay, good. Yeah. They may have actually fixed the chart speed, but because the main thing I'm seeing lately is what I just showed you, how you'll put in a symbol, and then you may have your 15-minute chart looking like this with a couple of days on it, and then all of a sudden you put it in and it only shows you 5 bars. Linking issues. The problem a lot of time with the linking issues is it's really not on our end. They can change up their API or whatever, and we have to figure out what they did, and so that's kind of an ongoing process. Yeah, the weather sucks. It's crazy here in Texas. I think we're going to get up to 85 degrees today, which is too warm for me on a December, but it's nice. Get out, and you can get out and do summer stuff and go swimming if you want to. All right. Yeah, we're getting some more people coming back in, so that's good. That's good, but we did lose everybody at one time. Okay, I'll kind of prep what I'm racing, guys, and all right. So wait, I got to pull up one of them. I got lost it over here. All right. So I am racing. I got 3 races I've kind of been running, and what I'll do is I'll just run these every 15 minutes. Once it stops, I'll just get another one going. So these are so far the ones I have found to be kind kind of best for maybe finding, ones that are moving at the time. I'm not saying they have to be momentum trades, but I find a lot of my swing trades in here. So this one right here is just basically winners since open, and it's from $1 to $10. If I go in here and go to configuration, you're going to see that it is no alert whatsoever. It's just filters. I do have an EPS in here, a filter to kind of eliminate the warrants. We're working on those warrants, so we don't have to do this in the future, but it's just it's kind of quirky right now. But anyway, most of you guys are familiar with this hack to get rid of the warrants. In other words, everything that comes through has to report earnings. The problem with doing it this way, you'll miss out on some of those SPACs because they don't have any earnings right now. So $1 to $10, they have to be doing at least 200,000 shares a day. And the same thing with this one right here. It's the same. It's just the price range is from $10 to $30. Now this one is an interesting one that I built, and you can catch some good pops in this thing. Okay, basically it's just a change in 2-minute top list. And if I go to configuration, you're going to see that same EPS hack is in here. The change from the close, it has to be up on the day. In other words, I don't want to see something bouncing off the bottom and having a nice 2-minute bar or something like that, up bar, but it's in a downtrend. So it has to be up on the day. Obviously, the change in 2-minute has to be just greater than 0. So in other words, if everything's real stagnant, I don't want things coming through that are not moving. But price range 3 and above, same volume today, filter 200,000 shares minimum. In this one right here, I have a 1-minute volume. Has to be doing at least 500%, so basically 5 times 1-minute volume. So I'm looking for something that's popping on volume and not just popping because lack of liquidity. All right. So yeah, there you have it. So what I'll do here in just a minute, we'll run these in about 4 minutes, because I like to do it. For some reason, I find it best to do it at the top and bottom of the hour, and then halfway in between. We dropped off again, huh? Okay. Okay, let me notify the guys, and they probably already aware of it. I think some of them were probably in here. Hold on just a minute. Okay, Steve said I'm fine. All right, so Mark, I find it hard to zoom in and out on your charts. Can you zoom in and out on the day chart to see if it's my charts? Yeah. Are you on a PC? You're not on a Mac or something and using some sort of parallels, are you, Mark? Because I notice sometimes they have some issues, but just hold the control. If you hold the control and zoom in and out on the daily by using the pinwheel on your mouse, I don't have any issues there. Okay. Yeah. No problem for me. I would probably, you might, I don't know. You might try another mouse. What version are you on, Mark? Are you on the dev version, or are you on the uh, was it 5.3.2, the latest production version? Well, you can't be on mine because I'm sorry. You wouldn't be on a dev version. You'll be on a beta version probably. Okay, the docked version. Yeah, that's probably our dev version. I haven't heard anybody else having issues with that, so that tells me it may be something in your because mine just seems to be working just fine, and typically if there's a system-wide issue, we would definitely be getting a lot of emails and people coming in chat letting us know about it. So you might try maybe another mouse, see keyboard or something like that, and see if and have you tried your arrow keys? You can use your arrow keys as well. Try that on your keyboard and see if that helps. All right, it's that time. We're going to run the races here. Here's our 2-minute one. Here's our 10 to 30 one. And here is our there we go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's run them. Gentlemen and ladies, start your engines. Yeah, once again, there's a lot better day and time to run these, but anyway, maybe we'll get something moving. Friday after the first 3 hours is probably not the best time to be looking for opportunity in the races, but we'll see. Maybe something will jump out at us. Now there's a setup box in here that you can check to what's called replace cars, and what that does is if another car like this winner since open, okay, it will start calculating from the time you start. So if another car actually moves up a certain percentage over a car that's in here right now, it will take over that spot. So you don't have to do it that way, but if you do, you're probably not going to miss anything if it just takes off. Yeah, winner since open scan. Let me do that. Let's do the now the flag. That's the race. There we just do the. I'll send you the $1 and $10 one first. I'll put 1-10. There you go, and then I'll also send you the 30. The $10 to $30 range. $10 to $30. Now I'm curious what it would. Which one would it be in if it's trading right at $10? All right, let's take a look at, pull up a chart here. Hold on, I'll take this, squeeze these up a little bit so we can have them in the race here. And take a look at some of these. Like that Vista. Now it's a little bit extended here, but if you'd been running a race back in this time, you would have saw it popping up here pretty early, the car, which you may not have seen on a top list. And if it's not doing a whole lot of volume at the time, you might not see it on one of your alerts, because a lot of the new high alerts, a lot of people will use volume parameters on it. But take a look in the $10 to $30 range. Sigma, I'm looking for a potential go, pause, go there on the 15-minute chart. Take a look at change in 2 minutes. Popping up out of a range. And this one right here, I wouldn't trust this. It came out, had a pop. This is what a lot of people, a lot of good traders I know will short stuff like this. I mean, the news was that they got like a $3 million. I think I saw this somewhere today. Maybe maybe I'm thinking about another one. Yeah, this distribution bill. I think this was like a $3 million distribution. It wasn't much at all, but didn't stop it from, ripping one time. Right when the news come out, you see that a lot. BLRX, with a nice pop in a volume bar there. I mean, you might see these on some of your scans, but man, this is just a very different and clean way to look at things, in my opinion. Some people may not like it, but I'm finding it very... Court sticking his little head up there. Let's see, Mark, do you think they'll ever update the charts to work more like other programs, as an example, TradingView? Yeah, Mark, it's not, obviously we are a alerting software. That's our focus, is to bring you real-time alerts and ideas like this in real time that you can react on them. That's not to say we don't, give our charts attention, but honestly, I mean, it's probably never going to be like a charting software. I used to use eSignal with trade ideas. I loved it. And sometimes if you're really into charts, you just may have to, get. I loved eSignal, and that's what I always used. I don't need it now because I'm more of a swing trader, and I don't need to be, spot on when it comes to charting. And I don't use a lot of indicators, but I can see people that do. If you are into a lot of indicators and you like those real clean, charts that you can do a lot with. If you're serious about trading, yeah, you might want to just go ahead and belly up. But we will do more and more with it. But yeah, I'm not going to say it'll ever get up to the level of the charting, the big charting programs out there. Yeah, I agree, and that's been other complaints. It's just for some of us, it's weird. Most of us here at all the traders that trade ideas, we're fine with it. And I think, you find that more with, traders that don't use a lot of indicators and keep it kind of basic. But if you do like a lot of indicators, yeah, I would probably recommend, going with a TradingView, eSignal, whatever the big ones are that you like out there. I never had any problem with linking. I think I linked eSignal one time and never had an issue with it. Well, thank you, Charles. It's really cool. I mean, look at this donut, popping up right here. Now, if you're looking at a top list, more than likely you're not going to see that. As a matter of fact, let's pull this over, it's the 10 and 30. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the top list right here. If you look, donut's just hanging out right here. change from the open is still up, 3.5. So it is strong on the day, even though it had an ugly day yesterday. And all of a sudden that car just popped out, took the lead, and you pull it up, and you're seeing a nice little pop right here, and it's a good chance it maybe goes to highs over here. This is the kind of visual, okay, that you're not going to be able to get from a top list, and it just adds a whole new element, I think, to a way to visualize what's happening out there in price action. Are a nice pop on. Now, if you would have been watching this, you would have caught this pop right here, this reversal pop in RR, if you would have had this running earlier. It is based upon a percentage, so that's the thing. A lot of times you're going to see, some of these one that looks like they're popping, but they're just they're a really cheap stock and they're not going as far as they appear to be. Same thing with the KGC. LIDAR was a nice move. Oh, so it's not the indicators, it's the way the chart moves. So other than using your keyboard, what would you like to see? Like a little slider bar down here where you can move it that way? Or you can send in a feature request, Mark, if you want to, and we'll take a look at it. Send a feature request to our email and just give us your ideas. I mean, it may go on the back burner for a while because we have a lot of stuff we're doing, but hey, we will definitely take all good ideas and we'll submit them, and we'll definitely take it into consideration. Okay. You're welcome, Mark. Yeah, not like I said, the best time of day to be running, but you could see if you're running this thing like on a Monday morning at about 30 minutes after the open, boy, you see some stuff that will really open your eyes to a different way of, like I said, visualizing data. You had the same issue with charts, especially this morning. Okay, I will let them know. Okay, I will let them know that a couple people had an issue, and you had an issue with scrolling, Bill, as well. You couldn't hold down the control key and scroll in and out like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm on a different version, so it may be the version. It sounds like both of you are on the dev version. I'm sorry, I keep saying dev, the beta version. So. Yeah, that's the thing about betas. We do put them out as betas for a reason. Okay, we will do as much troubleshooting and bug searching as we can on these dev versions, but sometimes things sneak through, and that's why it's called a beta. Okay, it's still kind of in a testing phase until it goes to production. You have to assume that you might have a few bugs. A few issues. You might try, if you're not using a whole lot of the docking features right now, you may, and it's really bugging you, you could go back to the production and okay, yours were lagging so you didn't have a trouble with the scrolling. Yeah, we're familiar with the lagging. And that's one of the key things we're working on right now. And it's weird. It's like it's Yeah, the docks are cool. The docks are cool. And here's why I'm gonna have to get me another monitor for my races, because I like to just keep these things running, and I'll do a race, and then I will, after 15 minutes here in the next, we'll start it over right at the bottom of the hour, so we'll get back on track here. Got a little bit late on that last one. Something about those, I like to start them on the bottom and top, of hours. So that's when you have some programs that'll kick in, whether it be a buying program or a buy program or a sell program or something like that. So there we are at 11:30. Let's take these things back. And when they finish, this is exactly what I do. I'll just go through and I'll check all three of them. I'll start them all over. I'll do this, at least throughout the first, few hours in the morning. I tell you, I was telling the guys today, this Ford is looking very interesting. And look at it's popping out right now. I don't know that I would trust it on a Friday afternoon, especially after this big move that it had today. But look at this range it's been in for almost, over a month, maybe 5 weeks. It's been a nice little range there. It looks like it's trying to pop out. Probably one I should have bought this morning. That little Go Paul's Go 15-minute candle, but yeah, I'll wait. I don't like doing buying range breakouts on a Friday afternoon. Hi, Iris. What parameters do I have to insert to the racing cars? I'm not sure what you mean. You don't have the racing cars yet, do you, Iris? I don't believe. And you won't be really doing any parameters in the I'll show you. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. So I shared a couple of windows. If you scroll up, you can find them in the chat. But let me show you what you'll be doing when you do get them. Okay, so here's a window right here. This will be your setup. Oh, did they release the version today? I did not know that. Snuck by me if it did. But here's what you want to do when you run your races. Of course, you can just right-click in the in your top list, and at the bottom, that's when you run your real-time race. And these are the parameters I like to use. You want to use 20 lanes. Now, you might have to expand, so you can see when I drop this down how the races the race lanes will drop. So you want to expand it so you can get 20. All right, and then I like to run mine for 15 minutes. And I want to do this whatever I'm sorting by, like that winners since open, I sort by change from the open. Okay, so this is my sort, and this is what it's based on. I don't like doing price because price is not relative. In other words, if you have a $30 stock, compared to a $10 stock, the price is going to move a lot, more, but the percentages won't be moving, as much as the price. So I like to do everything on percentages. That's me personally. And then I like to check replace cars. And now what that does, if one that may not have been in the top 20 of your top list, if it comes in there while you're running the race, it will replace the lowest car. So that's a neat little feature. Now, if you don't like seeing that happen and you want to just focus on all the cars in a race, just leave that unchecked. Oh, good. Gee, man, you guys are ahead of me. I didn't even know they released it today. Now, we are going to have, and I actually sent these two windows, these races right here over to Brad. We're going to have some channels for racing. And the goal is, I'm not sure how it will look at first, but you're going to be able to eventually just have these races run automatically, where you won't have any input. You'll just go to the channel and they'll be just running automatically, probably every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes. But that's going to be neat. It's going to save me a lot of time pulling up all these windows and running the races. It's been a nice little move today in that BLRX. Might pull back above. Okay, yeah, Kurt, I sure will. That's a good one. This is a pretty good one for swing trading. Now, this works better when you have a little pullback in the market. Right now, we've just been elevating, and I'm not finding it being as effective as it has in the past. When we get into a normal market again, where we do have some 3 to 5% pullbacks and things like that, this is much more effective. When we're sitting up here, just kind of like I said, elevating in the spiders, not going anywhere, you can find some good ones, but it does work better once you. Let me pull up here so we'll have another one. Once you do get a pullback in the market. Here you go. This is the alert. There you go, Kurt. There is no linking the change from the open in the card. There's no linking. You just go like this. Here's your link right here. You just right click and you real-time stock race, and then that's going to pull up your window. So there's no linking to be done. Now, if you're talking about, are you talking about linking it to another software? If you have trade ideas linked, that should work the same as a top list would, I would think. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, Iris, when you say, how do I link change from the open and the cars? I mean, there's no linking. You just run the race, and once you do, like I said, you can click on any car, and it's going to pull up in the charts. The turbo scanners that was demonstrated on Tuesday. What was that? We didn't have a webinar on Tuesday. I'm not sure. You mean Monday? That was probably Monday. Ignacio, send us an email and we'll get you those. Let me see wait, we do have a on our Slack here. Maybe they dropped them in there. I'm sure they did. Hold on. Let's see, support links. Okay, yeah, here you go. Here's the turbo up. And this one is the turbo down. There you go. Yeah, we have a thread. We have a thread on our Slack where we can drop our links that we shared. So when people ask for this reason, exactly when people ask for them, we'll have them. Box D. Let's see what Box D is doing. Yeah, it's poking up there. It looks like a new issue. And you will find cars, and a lot of times you change in 2 minutes. You can see this car is over here, and it's also over here in Winter Since Open. But once again, not the greatest time and really market that we have right now to be running these races. Is pretty sloppy right now. You're welcome, Ignacio. And a lot of times, guys, what I'll do is just go through here and see if I look, see a chart that's interesting. Very strong chart right there for sure. Yeah, I saw Leslie popping out, coming through one of my alerts today. I'm sure. Yeah, I see what you're looking at today. Now, a lot of times, be careful. Typically with me on these momentum stocks, like when I see them do that in the morning, I typically want them to go back to highs or at least trade sideways for a bit of time. Once they break like this and they get into this kind of death march, it's tough. It really is. It seems like the majority of stocks, once they do this, they'll continue to bleed down. That doesn't mean it's always the case, but I would, if it were me and I were thinking what you were thinking, I would just put alert at this range high right here around, 2190. And then if I were to buy it, I would immediately cut it if it fell right back into that range or maybe broke the moving average because now you're anticipating that it's going to reverse, and maybe go back and and we do see that sometimes. I'm just saying the majority of the times, once you've gotten this far into the day and they haven't bounced, more than not, they continue in this kind of death march, I will say, and maybe even fill the gap. But it is above its its moving averages, but a couple of ugly day yesterday. Did they have earnings today? Let me check to see. Okay, well, they did have earnings, so yeah, I would keep an eye on that. kind of very similar to one that I bought this week, and kind of had the same action, but it's holding on the daily, so I'm still in it. I'm not that far underwater, but this IPW. Let's start these again, and I'll bring them back, bring these down so I can show you what I'm talking about. Twenty more seconds. And I'll just go over all my trades this week. Let me, because traders have told me in the past that they like to hear stuff like that. So let me just bring these down. I did start the race. And it was this IPW. Now, typically when this had what I thought was really good news. You can see the volume on this day, but it ended up doing like a spinning top on that day. I did not buy highs, but now when I buy something like this, that's kind of in a downtrend, I will take my initial position. It will be a third. I basically will buy it in thirds. So anyway, I bought, my average price is about $3.25 in this one. It's very similar to what you're just showing me, but I'm telling myself, you know, if it holds, as long as it holds this 10-period moving average, that's going to be my stop if it closes below there. But, you know, I did not like the action today. I was hoping it would build off this doji to the upside, but once again, it's holding up. And I think my average cost is $3.25, so I'm not that far underwater. So anyway, I'm gonna keep an eye. You know, I'll keep a close eye on it, especially if it can't get going. It does break down below this 3 and tries to hit that 10-period moving average. But it's been a good a good week for me, and I will. Couple of biotechs that I did, small cap biotechs that I did real well in is this A-bus. Now, what I will do a lot of times when you had these, you know, runners that had a nice move and they come back and they set up again, I will watch them. And on this day right here, I love the way it was setting up. Okay, it was closing above its moving averages right here, put in a little doji, and then on this day I bought it. It took, you know, I will anticipate and buy some and then add to it. And that's what I did on this day. Had a nice little move. Still have 1/3 of my position left. Not carrying for the bar today, but still, I took nice profits on the 2/3 of it, and I'm holding on to 1/3. One very similar to it was ADRX, and it was another beautiful setup. And it was right here on this day. Now, a lot of times what I'll do, when I see the setup, I will go ahead and buy a chunk on the day of the setup, you know, maybe half. And I think I did at 140, you know, and then I started pushing to highs. I anticipated again, and I bought more. And same goes here. I scalped out of 2/3. I'm still holding on to 1/3. That is a style of trading that has done me favorably in the past, because what that allows you to do is when you anticipate these moves, then you get a very nice move. You can scalp out 2/3 for a really nice profit. Now I am holding on to 1/3, and I can give it to, you know, to break down maybe even below these lows at 130 or something like that. So and gives me staying power since I took profits on those 2/3. So if this thing does want to go and tack this $2, I'm still in. You know, 1/3 of it, and I could actually buy more, and I probably will. On Monday, if it takes out 170, I'll probably be adding back to it again. But it keeps me in the game, right, just by holding on to 1/3 of it, or even if it's only 1/4 of it. And I think, guys, I think ARDX is 1/3 of it, but my A-bus is only 1/4 of that one left. Okay. Another good trade that I had was on this day right here, this BBBK. And once again, what I do a lot of times is I'll stalk these stocks that have had a nice, very nice pop. Now this was kind of once again a death march, but I did not even buy it until this day right here, and I'll show you where I bought it on this day. Right here at $13.95. Now I got a beautiful move that day. I scalped out of 1/3 of it on this move. And then I scalped out of another third of it on this move. I still have 1/3. I'm actually a little bit, just a tiny bit underwater in my last, let's see, where's it trading at right now? Yeah, 10 cents underwater in my last third of my position, but I'm okay. It's giving me staying power in case this thing wants to go sideways and then try another move. I'll still be in a third of it. And that's typically how I will trade. I will look for these setups, okay, and I will anticipate them, and then I will get a nice move, and I'll bang out of 2/3 of it, and I'll just hang on to the rest. Instead of like, gosh, how awful will that be if I'm sitting in all this position and I had a 30% move and I didn't take any, and now I'm back and I'm underwater. That's the kind of trading that will just really deflate you, So, man, just always, ring the bell. I call it ring the bell. Let's see if I got any more. Oh, now I'm not always trading cheap stuff. Okay, Roku on this day, I bought it at 240. Okay, go back to the chart and you'll see what I'm talking about right here. I like the way it was. No, that's the day. Yep. And it was kind of, had a move, had good news, I thought. But honestly, I'll look at the news, but I trade the technicals. And it was trading sideways, popping up. I anticipated, bought some at 240.64, I believe, and got a nice move. Scalped out half on the first day, kept half, but look what it did the following day. Now, I got out yesterday on the close because that was just awful. That's the last thing you want to see. I was really disappointed in this. This is just ugly. Right after that huge volume and that huge move, I'm out of it now. But and I think I made a little money, but it wasn't as much as I could have. I just scalped out of the second half on the day. But had I did and it kept going, I would have been disappointed. So that was pretty much my trading for the week in that IPW that I'm still in, which I don't know what's going to happen there. All right, let's see at the races here again. Ooh, that one, boy! Remember that one? We just pulled this one up just a minute ago. Look at that thing. Oscar. There's that Sigma again. But it's kind of sloppy now.
Wow.
Oh, there's Academy Sports with a wow and a big short interest on that one. That one. Now see this one. This one just trades nasty. But boy, that'd have been interesting on that move. Now, if you wanted to, guys, what you could do is just take these windows that I shared for you. If you want to make you one from maybe $30 to $70, you could do that, and you would catch things like this coming through there. You would have caught this on this, bar here and bar there. This ASO. That's interesting. I'm going to put a pullback in this one. I don't want to chase these 3 green bars, but I'm going to put a pullback around 46. If it does pull back, I may be interested in that, because that is an earnings play. Had a pre-market this morning, but boy, with that short float, I may not get a pullback, but I'm not going to chase 3 bars like that. If I miss it, I just miss it. Hey, Mike C, how are you, buddy? You know what? I did some online shopping a couple of days ago. I still got some other stuff to get, but I got probably got about more than half of it knocked out. How about you? Oh, I forgot, guys. I did buy one other thing this morning on Barry's little, because there was another stock like this. This is getting a nasty move right there, but it looks like an ugly bar, but in theory, it really only moved on me a nickel. I bought it at 93 this morning on this option volume. There was another stock, another SPAC that was doing crazy options like this. Anyway, so I did buy some of this morning at 93, half size. If it takes out, I'd probably give it to 10. I'd buy some more, but $10 seems to be a key range in these SPACs once they get above 10 with the volume. But anyway, there was another, I cannot remember the symbol, but was doing, not going anywhere, but doing, unusual option volume that took me a couple of days, but that thing ended up ripping. And there was some news on this that they, I guess, Getty Images to become publicly traded through this SPAC. So I don't know exactly how all that stuff works, but hey, volume, I'll give it a shot. Yep, that seems to be the thing to do. No reason to go out and fight shopping malls. I'll probably end up doing a little bit of that, but yeah, majority of it's going to be online for sure. Let's see, AVCT pullback. And that's had a huge run. I looked at this yesterday and I passed on it. How is this LAZR doing? Oh, it's not. LIDAR is getting a push. Let me put an alert on this just in case this thing. Gosh, I don't know. That's ugly though. I don't know. It would have to get above. Yeah, I'll pass on that. Two biggest, it's odd to see the two on a earnings play, the two biggest volume bars coming out this late in the day, but on that AVCT. Yeah, I think I put this alert in this morning when it was trading. I was hoping for a quick move down in catching that moving average is why I set it there. But now this late in the day, I don't know. It's probably not interested this late in the day. Well, I hope you guys. I'm glad you guys got access to this. Yeah, play around with that if you have it for the rest of the day. At least get a good feel for how it works, and maybe you can create your own top list that you want to follow. And because it's pretty cool, and I imagine you can get really creative with this. And I built a few. I mean, uh, I might build one for my somebody mentioned earlier the uh, revenue growth fishing. That may be a good one to do a little race in. But man, something thing about those things, you just never know when they're going to run. There's not like there's momentum in them. Well, they can be, but it's not a prerequisite, of course. Oh, I forgot to start them again. Or maybe I did. Oh well, let's start them again. All right, guys. Time flies when you're having fun. And unfortunately, let's see. No, my next Thursday we're having a team building event, and so we're canceling the Thursday webinar for next week. But I will be back on. I will be here on Friday. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend, and enjoy the holiday season. I know it's my favorite time of year. But you guys have a great one. I'm gonna let Barry know that I am ready when he is. And once again, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you, John. Well, Barry must be knocking off his sandwich. Last few bites of his sandwich. Here he comes. See you later, guys.
Yeah, there's your forward here, reel, showing up here. Another one. Look at this. I mean, look at all these stocks that are. I mean, the market is so strong, and yet there's so many stocks. All these little guys. Not this is not so little. This is near lifetime lows, and yet they're not as. I don't think anyway. They're not as many stocks making lifetime highs. Meanwhile, Hood, boy, oh boy, what a level for it to try to is that basically. Well, look at this. It's at its all time low right now. 2061. That's a all time low for Hood. Well, I guess right here, 2049 is the all-time low. But basically, look at this position in lifetime range. You see a zero, that means it's basically there. You see, if it says negative, it just means because it's referring to, it's not taking into account today's action. So, Thank you. Thank you, Ija. No, I'm not in anything yet. I'm kind of looking at the bird. But no, I vacated. I only had 3 trades today. You know, the 3 shorts. I got rid of them quite a while ago. If I don't trade for the rest of the day, that is just fine. So dare run up on that news? Is that what you're saying? No, you're just saying dare run up. Okay. Well, the high yesterday was 211, so I guess if it could take out 211 somehow, 251 would be the next high. That's right, it had FDA. That's right, this was the one that was halted for most of the day a couple of days ago. All right, there is your 1050 for Sigma. Briefly, and I'll reset my alert. There it is again. Yes, there it is again. The volume did come in. It now it's through. Well, almost. 1048, 1049, 1048, 1052, 1050, 1051. Just checking the bid ask. Let's take a look at time and sales. Let's see how rapidly it's trading. You know, lots of action, lots of action. So it has not really broken free yet. And that spread is a little tough for a, you know, look at that. So that spread is a little bit tough still. I guess BZ has popped. Need another 1050 break for the Sigma. You just see right here. I mean, lots of action. Bird is attracting my interest again, guys. Bird, B-I-R-D. It's funny, I can't get into taking anything long right now. Definitely more short biased. As you're talking about BZ. So this was, again, I pointed this out in the video I did. This is a great example of using the re-entry. All right, got stopped out almost immediately. I mean, it got in at 10:03. Okay. There's Sigma now. Wow, okay. Got a little, not a lot. It went too fast. It's got to take out that high of yesterday. All right, there's Pick now. Pick even. My goodness, Pick. Oh, but that was a gap up to 804 and then came right back down. 1074, that's the next key level for it to break out. 1074 for the Sigma. It did briefly take it out. Bit of a tough spread right now in the Sigma, a dime. Which may not matter, of course, if it can even start approaching that 1250 mark. We're getting close, guys. We're getting close to taking out 11 on the Sigma. Just need that spread to catch up. 75.91, that's not good. Well, there it goes, guys. Over 11. Well, I don't know. I mean, I just waited for that break right there, the 1050 break. You know, you have to act quickly. I mean, what strategy now? You're chasing it now. All right. Well, bird reversed. I'm going to keep an eye on bird though if it takes it out again. Yeah, I've taken some out. I mean, that nice 11 break on the Sigma. Came right back down, got a little bit over that 11 mark. Was in around 1062. It went really quickly on that break at 1050. Ooh, Figs is making a new low, guys. Figs is making another new low. And a low on a break out of that big consolidation. Figs is still good. Time to like this, guys. You should take a look at this. The movers to the upside, greater than 300K versus the movers to the downside, greater than 300K. Two competing strategies. So anything you see in red, that means it's making a new low. Anything you see in green, it means it's making a new high. You know, when it's a ticker tape. So Figs right there, making a new low. A big reversal for bird. Boy, figs. Look at this. I mean, what a break out of that consolidation. 25.87, almost down to 25 now. Sigma, and this is going to show up here. I almost guarantee it. It makes a new high. Actually, I may be wrong. I think there is a volume component in here. I better explain what I'm looking at here. So if I configure, this is what this is looking at. Is there a volume? Yeah, the volume in the last minute has to be at least 300% of normal. So there is a bit of a volume burst. So it's not just making a new high. It needs a volume component also. So it's taking this and it's competing against virtually the same alerts, except obviously the price will be down 2%. Okay, and then it'll be a new low. This also works in the pre-market. Don't get too many alerts in the pre-market, but so this strategy is now going to compete, or idea is going to compete with this one. See what I'm saying? It basically just flipped it. Now new lows and down 2%. So as we speak, 76%, even though the market is moving higher, see how that's interesting? I think it's interesting anyway. 76% of the alerts are on the low side, even though the market is moving higher. I know Jamie uses the compare count a lot. All right, CRHC just showed up in my option scanner. Very extended though to take it right now. But look at the monthly. Wow, this monthly 1012 is the next high looking left. You know what? If this takes out 1012, this could have a little romp in it. Let's see what the weekly is looking like. Yeah, there's that high right there, 1012. Next high is around 1020. Next high is 1027. I mean, you know, 1030 obviously gets it really rocking here, guys. I don't know course number 401. I don't know what that means. Don't have to use it. Look at Sigma now, guys. I said that Sigma would start to show up, and there it is. You could just take this one to try, okay? I mean, just take this one to try. I'm not going to go into all of the different types of compare accounts, but for instance, if you wanted to, you know, take a sector. In other words, take a sector. One of the ETFs, one of the major ETFs, and you wanted to compare, for instance, if you wanted to do something like this, you'd have to create a symbol list and attach it, but, you know, something like this. Okay, so you could scroll down, you could create a symbol list with all these symbols as an example. Okay, and then compare how many stocks are going up versus how many stocks are going down. You know, just have a ticker. Thereby, you could find the ones that are going up. You know, in a sector that most of them are going down, you would see the ones that are going up as an example. You know, it's just an interesting way to look at things. It's a little bit like the race car if you think about it, because that, you know, instead of individual, but that, you know, this is a ticker tape, except an alert version. Why is it popping? Because Zach said it would. But it is an earnings play, okay? You know, it is an earnings play. And again, it still has some room. When you look left, it still has some room on that monthly chart. All the way up here, 1260. Not saying it's going to get there, but that's right. Race car, race car. You're right. A palindrome. Able was I ere I saw Elba. Madam, I'm Adam. But we digress. Guys, you always got to be careful though with a stock like this. Look at the float. Big key if it takes out 11 again. All right, guys. Well, maybe that's it for Bird. And Bird had the nice little, wow, had a run all the way up to 1428. Now it's back down to 1390. So maybe now I'm going to set an alert for around that 1380 level. As long as the spread is okay. Yeah, the short, yes. It'll be an all-time low. You don't have to follow me, though. I'm just pointing it out. You guys have been talking about NVIDIA. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Yeah, there's that 300 level you're talking about. Big float, 2.4 billion in the float. So yeah, it's a $5 move. It's only 1.7%. But boy, yeah, I mean, I just don't trade this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just waiting to see if it does the crazy Nasdaq. You too, Craig. All you had to do, Craig, was short figs and Mesa. And of course, if you've been early in the day, the EVBG was incredible. All right, guys, we might be maybe round two, maybe for Sigma. Bid ask, catch up, catch up. Boom! There we go. my goodness. Here we go, guys. Again, don't be afraid to manage the trade. You too, Ija. Later. See you on Monday. Always nice having you in the YouTube room. Okay, well that pop in Sigma got me out of most of it. I'm only hanging on to some just in case it wants to challenge this 1250. I have my doubts, but you never know. But it got all the way up to 1146. I was in at 1062, sold some at 1101. It's trying to hang on. In case it did that pop, it got up to 10. I would like to say I got out right at 11:45. Of course not, but all right. Let's see a bird. What's the spread like on bird right now? Not bad. 1380, 1384 now. Okay. Was that just a brief look? I mean, look where it got to. Right to that 15-minute. Look at that. Almost textbook. Came into that little resistance area of an hour on that 15-minute chart. Stalled and came right back down. What volume do we have? So it's a fairly low float also, 20 million in the float. So it's a fairly low float also. Just watching the way it's trading, not trading excessively. And it's picking up a little bit. Okay, now the spread's great. 1 cent, now 2 cents. It's not quite down 10%. It doesn't want to leave that 1380 yet. Okay, guys, Sigma's not over yet. I know Zach is waiting for a high 11s to short this one. I've got these ones, Bill. I'm sharing them all. In my go to my home page. I've got these ones. The gap up, gap down. Not very many today at all. And my unusually strong options. These are my halts. I'm sharing them all. But you can see they don't give very many alerts, which is what I want. Fubo, guys, Fubo, another one moving down. Not an all-time low yet, 18%. And there goes the Sigma. Briefly. Here's the trend though. Look at this, the trend up. See, what you see on my main scanner, the one I'm sharing, doesn't get too many alerts. You can just sort of see. These are the only alerts. Don't get fooled by all the repeats. But these are the only stocks that have been alerted today. And from 9:30 on, what time is it now? 1:30. These ones and these. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 11, 13 stocks that you see here. That's it. My other monitor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, that's 17, 19, 22, 26. So a grand total of 26 different stocks have been alerted to me today, but not all at the same time, of course. So you got all sorts of time. I think 26 is very manageable. I hope you have 11.95. Come on, bird, move. Okay, I have to put an alert for bird. I don't want to just keep staring at it, so I'm going to put an alert for bird. Well, I guess I have one here. I'm going to put an alert around 1374. And see if it takes it out with a decent spread. That might get me in it. All right, guys. Well, as I'm waiting for maybe that to happen, nothing else is happening really for me. So concentrating on the Sigma to see if it takes another big run up based on that float. Another stock making an all-time low, just about. AGMH, another one. Boy. Not very much volume. China stock, low float. Might be it. Might be it for the Sigma. Now, it surprised us before, but it might be it now. Let's take a look at the volume, and if the volume is still up there. So here are the two big volume bursts that got it through, right there. What time is it right now? 1:35. So I mean, it's not bad. It's still, this has 10 minutes to close still. That volume bar. Just need the well, there it go. Oh, sorry. There goes the bird, guys. I'm looking at the sigma and the bird now. You mean short sigma? Oh, no, no, you do not mean that. Sorry, sorry, sorry. You do not mean that. So how did that work on the 10-day daily breakout? Pretty good. 1023. I'd say better than pretty good. 1023. I had to wait about an hour though. See, that's why this is a watch list. They're all watch lists, okay? Because this did not break out for an hour after the alert. It's a 15-minute chart. At least an hour, in fact. Another one moving down, QuantumScape QS. On the volume, look at the volume that just came into Quantum QS, but lots of, looks like there's pretty decent support around 23. Well, we have 3.2 million, so that's why you got to be awfully careful. We have we have 3.3 million. I'm assuming you don't have the single stock window up. Yeah, so Sam, I don't know what the best source for earnings are. No idea what the best source. You know, you can try Yahoo. Whoa, look at Sigma now, guys. Well, the fantasy for me would be to come up to here, 1247. 1247. Peloton, PTON. Peloton was weak this morning, so is it continued weakness or is it doing something else? Still weak. Yeah, look at this. I mean, this is underneath all this now. So what's the next low looking left on the monthly chart? 4126. 3070. What's that one? 40. So 3070 month. So we're at 3778. So that's far enough away. Yeah, this is a great one right now. This looks like it. But you know what? I just have to concentrate on Sigma. Just have to, you know, because of that float. Because but the volume, look, remember I was saying, look at the volume, guys. The volume is still really strong. In fact, 10, 11, this has another 5 minutes to close. This could actually be greater than those two previous ones, which were really strong. Till that volume stops, you know, it's still going to be strong. Oh, I don't think it's going to reach. I'm just saying that's my fantasy, you know, the fantasy level, that's all. I don't think it's going to reach it, but you never know. I mean, with that float, anything can happen. I mean, you'd never know this was going to happen here. Look at this. I mean, $8. It's an earnings play. Did nothing in the first almost 2 hours. And all of a sudden, had the pop, and then another hour rest, and then the big move. This is actually the bigger move, obviously, from 7 something to 10 something, but still, this is a nice move. We get a lot of these in the afternoon, just not I shouldn't say a lot of them, but we get them in the afternoon. If it takes out, guys, if it takes out 12, there's. Yeah, I got in just a little after that at 10:62. I had my alert set right here at that 10:50 mark, as you suggested. It wasn't smooth, as you know. It got up to 10:50, then it came back down to about the 10:30s. You kind of and then all of a sudden the volume just boomed it right through. Don't you dare short it yet. Of course, you can do what you want, but look at the volume, guys. That is fantastic volume. Traded the float, obviously, 11.9 million, 3.3 in the float, so it's traded the float 3.5 times. Come on, bird. Jump off that 1370. Fly out of the nest. Well, until the volume stops, there's another less than a minute now for this one. About 45 seconds for this volume bar to be completed. So the next volume bar will be very key. If all of a sudden it doesn't do anything, well, you're going to see a drop. Okay, we have about 5 seconds now for this volume bar to close, and let's just see what happens. Actually, look at the time in sales. How rapidly is it selling? Or trading, not selling. See, this looks... Oh, I'm at the wrong one, sorry. I'm looking at bird. Yeah, there's still 185,000. So not that many have been snapped up yet. People are afraid, They're who wants to be first, Okay, well, Doug, when you say you have to know everything, what does that mean? First of all, do you have trade ideas? Are you brand new to trading? I can give you a video series if you're brand new to trading. But what do you mean? I need to know everything about trade ideas or about trading in general. And welcome, by the way. Look at this, guys. I mean, it's taking out 12. So, Doug, can you hear me? Okay, so what is your question? I mean, you need to know everything. Are you a Trade Ideas subscriber that wants to know more about trade ideas? Or are you absolutely brand new to the market and wanting to learn how to trade and stuff like that? Okay. No, I need an answer right now. Look at this, guys. I mean, I don't think Zach thought this either, but I mean, look at this. I mean, there's that high right there. Little magnet. It's hard to believe it'll take that out. Come on, Bird, take out that 1370. Spread's great right now. All right, I don't have very much of the Sigma left. I have my doubts it's going to get that much closer to that 1257. So, and I don't want to be on the wrong side of Zach's big short on it. So, but it's still making a new high. Excuse me. And we have a halt now. RCRT just got halted. You mentioned the pop rubber toe, and it just got halted. Wow. Big halt here. Big move. 381 to 442. Now, this doesn't look good, but I'm sure this is going to change. If you got in here, 442, and this is what it's, I can't believe it's going to open at 330. There you go. See how this just changed. Okay, so first, okay, Doug, just so you know, Trade Ideas does not teach you how to trade. We're a scanner, of course. You can create your own scans to give you the sort of looks that that you're looking for. Okay, so we don't teach you how to trade. However, if you want a great refresher, okay, if you go to my home page, click on my homepage link. It'll be brought here. Here's an education section, okay? Click here. Now, this is a TI user guide, but if you don't have trade ideas, there's no point in taking a look at this. You can take a look at the introductory lessons because this goes over some of the basic features of trade ideas. But what I was really wanting to show you is down here we have back to basics, okay? This is a great either for somebody who's brand new to trading or a great refresher, just to give you, it starts off with what is a stock. And it's a video series. It's free. You might want to start there. So this is what real is talking about. Let's take a look at sigma. So the 2-minute EMA. So there is the 2-minute EMA, that orange line right there. So as he's saying, as the separation gets greater and greater, the theory is you could get a reversion back down to it at least. So as that separation, right now 1217, and it looks like the EMA is around 1189. And you can even look at the 5 on the 8 EMA and the 5-minute chart. Pretty big separation there also. Yeah, this is very weird, guys. This is very, very weird when you see this. I mean, it's halted at 4. I mean, I can't believe it's going to open at $1. Yeah, it is really whipping around here. But what I don't see is a big, open over 442 where it's halted. That's what I don't see. This is really strange. I'd really be careful. I mean, this is just, this is really jumping around. This is the potential. What time is it now? It's just a minute. All right, so it was halted at 149.27. It could open right now. Like right now. There it is. Okay, so that, you see what happened? That's a bad open. I mean, it got halted at 445 and it opened down here. Actually, it opened down here. And now it's halted again. So I'd be very careful. Well, you're in a very active day trading room, so pretty, it's not that we concentrate on low float situations, stocks with very few shares in the float, but the ones that are moving typically are low float. It's not that I put a filter to prevent higher floats, but, if you're looking for active stocks, I mean, why is Sigma, how can Sigma go up 50%? Because of the float. It's only 3.3 million shares in the float. So, and it's traded 15 million shares. So it's traded the float almost 5 times today. So definitely you can create your own scans if you want. Just, keep the float very low. All right, this could be it, guys. For the Sigma, trying to take out 12. I don't know if I'm going to short it. I typically do not like to short very low float stocks. Look at the volume, guys. I mean, the volume has not abated. In fact, so this one's got another, 3.5 minutes to close. Look at this volume. This is going to eclipse this one right here. I mean, it's not over until that volume just starts to fade away. Yeah, they are being snapped up. You're absolutely right. At IB, about 100,000 have just disappeared. So there are people piling into this, but I would be just until that volume disappears. Well, that was miserable. I hope nobody got nailed in this RCRT. It's halted again. Well, Bird is sort of tasking my patience, but I'm going to have I'm going to have a little more patience with it, I guess. I'm short this, but 1375-ish. So AVCT. Well, it's basing right now. I mean, you took it right now. You have no direction yet, in my opinion. You're taking it ahead of any break. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to take the trade, but you're right now. I mean, it's not doing anything. You're guessing right now, in my opinion, that it's going to go higher. It might, but there's no volume. Look at the volume. There's no enthusiasm right now. So, but it's up to you. Yeah, you might have to go to Wikipedia, Doug. I mean, to get all these terms. I mean, floating and floats, shorting, and all that. Again, this room is not to teach you how to trade so much. I mean, it teaches you how to I can show you how you can use trade ideas to create the type of scans you might be looking for. I'm sharing a lot of scans. In our toolbar, we have a lot of scans that we're sharing. But just in a nutshell, the float is the available number of shares that can be traded. You take the number of shares outstanding, and then you start subtracting what the CEO, all the insiders own, and maybe mutual funds. Okay, and then you subtract all that, and that gets you the float. That's the available number of shares that can be traded on a daily basis. So when you look at now, for me personally, anything under 20 million is what I consider a low float. So when you look at this one, Sigma, 3.3 million in the float, and it's traded 16 million. That means it's turned that float over. It's traded and traded and traded and traded almost 5 times. So that's that is something that's an example of an aggressive stock. But I mean, you've got a lot of learning to do. Shorting, I mean, I can't. You might have to go to Wikipedia and things like that. you know, in a nutshell, shorting is just hoping, you know, instead of when you buy a stock, of course you're hoping it goes up. When you short a stock, you hope it goes down. You make money if it goes down. You buy a stock, you make money if it goes up. I mean, that's kind of in a nutshell. There's more to a little more to it than that, but I mean that's the short. Okay, yeah, there is still 98,000 available. Not so it's been stuck there for a while, but this looks like it maybe. I'm not in it anymore. That's it for me. Totally out. Now let's look at the volume. See, now the volume, time is it? And it's only a minute in. Almost 2 minutes in, but you see, I don't think that, I think the volume, it's finally starting to dwindle. You too, Doug. Here's reels forward is continuing. Man, this is not over. I'm not in it anymore, but this is not over yet. Let's take a look at the volume for Sigma. So there's the volume. Now remember, this is still early. It's only 3 minutes into this candle. And it just made another new high. Doug's probably gone now. Give me a moment, please. Well, guys, watch me be completely wrong on this. Look at this. Sigma just took it out. It just took out that high of 3 days ago. Briefly, 1247. It's at 1250 right now. Wow. Great call by Zach, though. I mean, you know, suggesting to put an alert at 1050. And from there, I mean, it's, you know, it's run, I can do some math, a couple of dollars. I mean, not straight up. Though if you look at the 15-minute chart, it almost looks straight up. See how many shorts are still left here. Yeah, so about 10,000 were taken at Interactive Brokers. This is all I'm looking at, guys. Okay, so when I first looked, there were about 200,000. Then about 100 disappeared fairly quickly, to the chagrin of a lot of people. Oh well, who took them. And this is just a so this is this is Interactive Brokers. I have no idea with your brokerage. Oh, I can't move it. There we go. You couldn't stay away, could you, Adja? No, Vista now, guys. I keep hearing my symbol clash. I thought it was Sigma making a new high, but no, it's Vista. VSTA. So what are you doing and why? 18 million in the float? Boom, there it goes again. I'm not in it. I'm not in it anymore, but congrats to anybody who's stuck around. And look at the volume, guys. Look at this volume. What time is it now? 2:07. I mean, this still has 7 minutes to close. I mean, this volume could even eclipse this one, the previous 15. I bet you it will. 7 minutes to close. Why not? I mean, here's. I mean, it's an earnings play, but okay. Come on, Bird. A little bit of a crack now. A little bit of a crack. All right, well, let's look left again. I mean, we're almost at an all-time high now for Sigma. Look at that. 1.3% from an all-time high. I wonder where that was. I have to back this out. Oh, you got to go way back. You got to go back to 2014 before we see these levels. You know, I mean, listen, if this holds up here, this could be really interesting in the last hour and also after hours. I know it's Friday afternoon, or after hours, but I mean, if it holds, and doesn't do the big collapse. And there you go, guys. I mean, look at the volume. You can have all your fancy indicators, and I'm not downgrading it or downplaying any of these indicators, but boy, you just have to look at the volume. I mean, at some point it's going to, there's got to be some profit taking and all that, but look at this volume. Now, that's the biggest volume bar now. Well, that's been exciting this afternoon now. I mean, I was sort of bored for a while, but boy, I mean, what a little shot in the arm this one was. And it's 2:11 already. 1292. Wow. Look at the volume. Oh, me of little faith. I mean, I got out of it all, but meanwhile, boring little bird is starting to fly in the right direction. All right, real. I don't know if you're still around, but that F is still doing really well, trending extremely well. Only a couple of pauses on the 15. No real drops, just kind of basing right here, little base right here. And I had no idea. Ford, this is an all-time high for Ford. Well, the Sigma, it'll be fascinating to see what the next volume bar will be like. Just look at the time and sales. You can see all the action. You know, the price right there. I mean, you can see all the action right here. Hard to believe it would take out 13, but as I say, hard to believe it could possibly take out 13. And the volume, okay, well, let's see. I mean, can the next volume bars be bigger than this one? Hard to believe. This is going to close in about 9 seconds. Excuse me. Now, fewer shorts now at IB, but not like a whole bunch fewer. Okay, well, here's your next volume bar. Okay, well, I guess, okay, I guess we don't go back to 1999. whatever it is, I mean, I always look at this. I mean, we're going back to right there is a high in 2011. So maybe, yeah, I'm not disputing it, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, something that happened, 22 years ago? For all intents and purposes, this is an all-time high. All right, guys. Okay, so as we're getting closer to the end of this fabulous trading week, just one last glimpse of my homepage. All right, so there's my homepage link. If you click on the link, you know the drill, guys, but I got to go over people who are new. You want to take out a subscription right here, okay? There are 4 plans, a monthly and an annual for both our premium and standard services. Click on this link here. You'll get 15% off using this promo code. 15% off the first month only or the entire year. These are 3 free sections. The Trade of the Week is sent to you before the market opens every Monday morning. I do a stock of the day video at noon Eastern, and all the education that we have. Most of it is geared towards trade ideas, of course. We have a great user guide now, introductory lessons, daily support in our YouTube room between 12 and 1, plus Chris between 3:30 and 4:30, Monday to Friday, in that YouTube room. Daily webinars. We have webinars Monday to Thursday. We just have a rotation. So next week it'll be Tuesday, Thursday. Following week, Monday, Wednesday. But you can sign up for them all right here. And again, for anybody new to trading or looking for a nice refresher, nice little video series, all free, put on my Uncle Nos at Trade Ideas. And of course, also, here are my scans. So you can have my scans are right here. These are the ones I really pay attention to, these top 4. And then I look at pre-market. This is what I do. Gap up, gap down share. Pre-market actives up, pre-market actives down. These are the ones I use in the pre-market. This is this compare count that I've been sort of showing you. Here's the lifetime lows. All right, so there are other scans here that I've created that you can take a look at. Again, a lot of information here. These 2 sections, a lot of information. Save my link. And if you save my link, then you can take a look at this anytime you want. Indy, what is Indy doing? Showing up in the 10-day daily breakdown. Yeah, I mean, if this were earlier, this has got room. I mean, look at the weekly. There's some support around 11. So from 1170 down to 11, in theory. Yeah, this could be it now. This could be the capitulation you guys are looking for Sigma. Let's take a look at the volume. And you get a little orange bar there. So, some selling volume coming in. But I wouldn't call this cataclysmic quite yet. I haven't done this for a while, but might be of interest to some of you. Just to take a look at my pre-market routine. So again, this is what I use in the pre-market, okay? Again, the pre-market act is up, down, gap up, and gap down. Nothing happens after 9:30. I put a stop, okay? Now, there were more gap up and gaps down, but because I just loaded this, you're gonna just see the last one. But what I do, I mean, the obvious thing to do is to always look at the change from the close, okay? This is on the downside, and this is on the upside, okay? That's the obvious thing to do at the very beginning, just to see the stocks that are, super active in the pre-market. And that's what I do. However, after that, I start sorting on different columns, okay? So for instance, I will sort on the float column. And just sort of see what low floaters are doing anything in the pre-market that I may not, my eyes may not see them because maybe they're not, down, up the most. They may be buried down here a little bit. So I'll do a little sort on the float just to see if there's anything interesting. Okay, the short float. See, what has got a lot. Look at this one. I mean, the CXM. I mean, look at the short float percent. Low float and a high. I mean, 55% of that float is short. Okay, I'll also do a little sort on the earnings date so I can see what are the earnings plays. I know for me 0.25 means they release earnings before the market opens, and minus 0.25 means they released after hours yesterday. Okay, so I'll do a quick look to see what are the earnings plays. I'll do this for the ones that are down also. So, and then the other one is really cool, the volume to date percent. So I don't use, so what this is showing me, if I saw something in the pre-market that was say at 50%, that would tell me that that stock has already traded in the pre-market alone 50% of what it normally does all day. That can be really significant. Again, it could be buried a little bit, because it's maybe not right at the top. I might have to scroll down, but that could be significant. So that's the exercise that I go through in the pre-market. And again, I'm sharing these 4 scans. These give me audible alerts, and this is a top list that gets, of course, updated every 30 seconds. Meanwhile, a little bit of a move down for the bird. You can load the scans you want and then create a layout out of them. So you load the scans you want, get them on your screen, and then once you have all the scans you want, maybe a single stock window if that's what you want, put some charts on, and then File, Save or Share to Cloud. Click on Entire, and then give it a name. You can call it rank as scan, rank as number 1, rank as first scan, whatever you want to call it. And then save it. So now you've got the layout. Okay, you can save it to your computer also. File, Save Layout. What happened to Bird? Why did it do that? Yeah, I don't have a layout anymore that I'm sharing because it's all docked, and not everybody has docks, and if you don't, it'll really screw it up. So that's why I've decided, you know what? Not everybody wants these. Not everybody wants, these scans. Not everybody. So pick and choose. Get used. Kind of have a bit of an idea about what you might like to have as a scan. My layout is just, for me, big deal. You know what I mean? I mean, it might not be exactly what you want. And I cannot create a giant layout with all of those scans that I created. because first of all, way too many scans. Okay, you want to limit. You don't want to have so many. Most of my scans, wow, did Chewy take out 50 like that? Oh, I saw 41. So it's not 41, it must be 51. But you see, most of my scans have some pretty tough filters in them, so I don't get too many alerts. That's why I can have a few different scans, but I'm not overwhelmed by the number of alerts that I'm getting. Remember, these are the only alerts I got in the daily breakout and the daily breakdown. These are the only ones. You see them in the repeating version here, but as individual stocks, these are them. Good. When you said 41, I thought, man, what a huge miss, because I remember it was hanging around that 40 mark or 50 mark for a long time. All right, guys. So I will be shutting the room down at 3 o'clock. So I'm just going to put that notice in here. So now's a good time to ask questions. Trading related questions. In that particular question, I have none anyway. You would think so, Dwayne, but I'm really not seeing that. The time between Christmas and New Year's can be incredible. I mean, it depends because the stuff that we do, we're not. I mean, maybe the Facebooks and the Amazons and all the big guys, maybe they slow down, but and you'll see overall market volume slow down. But I've never noticed a massive slowdown. No, not in the stuff that I'm looking at, anyway. Yeah, look at that. As William said, the half day after Thanksgiving was huge. There is still no way to control or lower the volume other than just mute it. Are you talking about my volume? It's coming. Yeah, I just think the 15-minute gives you a lot more confirmation, Fernanda. For me, anyway. So, Nelson, I don't understand the question. No way to control or lower the volume other than just muted. So, what volume are you talking about? Are you talking about me, or are you talking about volume? Are you talking about alerts that you're getting within Trade Ideas? So I think there's a, is there not a volume, isn't this, isn't this something that you can control? Volume, I don't know how it looks on your end. I mean, I know, isn't there a volume icon that you can control? All right, well, if it works for William and it works for Dwayne, you must be doing something wrong, Nelson. So look at the volume in segment. I mean, did it decrease a little? Yes. Not a huge amount. Not a huge amount. Okay, so I mean, to me, it would have to get really, really low. And when there's that enthusiasm starts drying up, then it's really going to start to drop. But well, I'm going to only give Bird a little bit longer here. I guess I should have taken a little scalp when I got down to 1360, but I thought, okay, maybe it's really going to move. Yeah, this is not, I mean, that volume, I mean, that's still decent volume. I mean, majority was selling, you can tell by the color, but it still was a lot of volume. And look at the volume in relation to previous days. Ah, on a Mac, okay. Well, then I really can't help you. India actually looks a little more, what is the low over here? Not that I really want to trade anymore, but Now you do have all these little topping tails for Sigma, not huge ones, but you do have the topping tails on the 15-minute chart. They're not huge, but you can see the 13, 13, 13 was the high both times right here. So these little topping, let me bring out a bigger chart. A little clearer. So you see these topping tails. So again, the buyers had it up here, sellers closed it here. Buyers had it up here, sellers closed it here, but sellers tried to really knock it down, but the buyers closed it here. So I mean, there was a real war here. There's another war. I think it looks like now, I'd say that the sellers are probably looking to win this one. You got these topping tails again. Buyers had it right at 13. This candle still has another 8 minutes to close. So, but I would say this looks pretty ominous now. All right, guys, I took a little loss on that bird. Well, this is a big level for it to try to hold at 1250. If it takes that out, I think, Real saying the same thing. All right, guys. Okay, guys, be careful on it. Just be careful because of that float. You have to know your risk. right, guys. I'm not much is well, a lot happening. Sigma. You got to be super careful. Okay, guys. I'm just going to put myself on mute for a while here. All right, guys, I don't know if you can hear me, but I've had some connection issues, so which was really tough with the Sigma trade, so I had to get out of it just in case. But I think what I'm going to do is shut the room down now. I don't know if you guys can hear me even. Yeah, okay, I'm back.
No, es buen momento, pero estaba yendo a la cocina y estoy hablando por mi iWatch. Espérame un momentito, voy a ir arriba.
Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm getting some connection issues, so I think it's my internet connection. So I I just want to make sure I don't do anything stupid. So I'm going to wrap it up now. Hope you don't mind. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Remember, I'm opening the room now at 8 o'clock. Just get my script in here. Okay. All right, so thanks a lot for all the help. We'll see you Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Again, have a great weekend.